Hello YouTube, Mobile Technology Reviews here, and today I'm going to be doing an updated throwback review of the TracFone Motorola V170. So the V170 is a very budget-oriented offering from TracFone. It retails for about $20, but you can find it significantly cheaper nowadays. And I think it's well worth that price. This is one of TracFone's very first devices. It's just a basic flip phone, great for calling. Not much else though. So let's talk about design now. So the TracFone Motorola V170 is constructed primarily out of glossy plastic. Most of the device is silver, with the exception of this black piece here in the front. Right around this black piece we have a chrome surround, which encompasses the chrome Motorola logo. Let's take a look around the device. So on the left hand side, we have nothing. On the right hand side, again, we have nothing. On the bottom, we have the proprietary charging port and the indicator light that tells us that the device is charging. Of course, we have the black plastic insert and Motorola logo in the front. On the top, we have our antenna stub and a 2.5mm headset jack. On the back we have our speaker grill, and beneath the back cover we have a 3.6-volt lithium-ion battery that provides decent battery life. Of course, this device is several years old, so it doesn't have great battery life anymore, but when it was new, it had pretty good battery life. Pop that back cover on. If we open up the device, you can see we have our 1.5-inch LCD display, and above the display we have our Motorola logo, another one, and our tiny speaker grill, earpiece. Below the screen we have the keypad. The keys are separate. They have good tactile response, although they do feel a little bit small for my liking. The D-pad here, again, the buttons are a little small. They are a little close together, but they still do have good tactile response. Your two soft keys and your call and your end button. As you can see, this device does have pretty interesting backlighting on the keypad. It is blue. Have an interesting look there. The hinge on this device is pretty sturdy. It's very satisfying. You open and close the device. Although it isn't the sturdiest hinge, because as you can see I've chipped it. I have done a drop test of this device, but that chip right there is not from the drop test. That is just from daily use. So obviously not the best hinge, but it definitely works. It is a fairly decent looking device. I mean, by today's standards it looks way outdated, especially with the antenna. But, for back then it was attractive, and for people that don't really need a smartphone, it's attractive. Let's talk about the software. So this device runs a proprietary TracFone operating system. When you first turn the device on, it'll search for a signal for about 2 to 3 minutes, which is a little bit annoying, but that's the price you pay with such an old phone. But once it is done searching for a signal, you are brought to this screen, which is basically the home screen. It consists of your time, your service strength, the date, and 2 shortcuts. Up here in the corner, we have the battery indicator. Shows how much battery we have left. If we click the middle button, we're brought to basically our main menu. It's a scrollable vertical list of all the stuff on our TracFone. We have prepaid, phone book, or contacts, your messaging, games, recent calls, ring style, alarm clock, quick dial, my menu, chat, settings, and more. And these two shortcuts here in each corner, you can access those by pressing the left or the right soft keys, and these are customizable. They don't come out of the box with games and phone book. That's what I've set. Since we're here, let's talk about games. It comes with 3 games: Racing, Torpedo, and Magic. I'm not going to really show you a gaming sample because it's not really worth it. The games are very poor. But, I mean, if you're sitting around, have nothing to do, I mean, it may be worth playing them. Phone book is pretty self-explanatory. It's just your basic contact list. Prepaid is just your basic TracFone, airtime info kind of thing. Phone book we've already talked about. Messaging, for some reason it's telling me to try later. That's interesting. It's never done that before. You've always got to be open to surprises with this phone. Anyway, messaging is your basic messaging plan. It's pretty poor. Of course, typing text messages with this keypad is time-consuming and inefficient, so I would not recommend this phone if you're going to be texting a lot. Games, again, we've talked about that. Recent calls, call log of all your recent calls. Ring style is basically an entire separate menu to change your ringtone, which I find completely unnecessary. Alarm clock, quick dial, which is like your speed dials. I'm not sure why it needs entire separate menu, but whatever. My menu, which I'm not even gonna go into, it's just useless. Chat. Now, I'm not exactly sure what chat does, because there's already a messaging feature, and that's basically what this is. It brings you to the messaging screen. So I'm not exactly sure why they needed to include that. And then settings. Under settings, you can change some of your call settings, and you can personalize your phone, set up security, that kind of thing. So that's about it for the software of this device. So in the end, if you want a device that is very good for calling, and speaking of calling, the earpiece is very nice sounding. It produces some crisp tones. Crisp for when this came out. So anyway, if you're looking for a phone that is great for calling, then I would recommend getting this. It's very cheap. It is worth the money if all you need to do is call. If you're an avid texter, or you need to go on the internet, anything like that, do not get this phone. It is not worth it. Spend your money on a little bit nicer TracFone, such as the LG 840G or one of their new Android handsets. But anyway, that was my updated throwback review of the TracFone Motorola V170. You can see my original review of it. Just click the link. You can also see my drop test. So thank you all for watching. See ya.